Uh-oh, we are officially online. This is the radio takeover with D Rivers, and guess who I am speaking with today? This is the one and only Clay Thomas. How you doing, Clay?
I'm pretty good. Okay for a Monday. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing good. You're looking pretty hot there.
It's pretty hot here in
It is good to see you. You know that it's
Good
been
to
a
see you
while.
too. We
It's
haven't
been a,
spoken in quite a while.
it has been a while. For those who don't know the relationship between Clay and myself, Clay is a former member of Pit Boss. See, here we go again. There's the degrees of separation. You came on board after Lynn left, right?
I did.
Okay. So you get the first rabbit because we're going down a rabbit hole here. So you're
Oh, rabbits. Lastly, rabbits.
so you came on after Lynn left.
Uh-huh.
How long were you with Pit Boss?
I think officially like 5 years.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. And then off and on as needed here and there.
Oh wow! And you were also with spinning off again. You were also with a side project called God of Thunder.
Yes, I was.
Mm-hmm. Thought I
Mhm.
forgot about that, didn't you?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
This is going to be an easy peasy interview. It's pretty straightforward.
It is.
Yes, it is. We're just going to basically talk about your history in the Augusta area and beyond, and what you've done, and a lot about the gear, because you are an exclusive Paul Reed Smith guitarist.
Hmm.
And
That's true.
we're going to talk about that preference in just a little bit, but we're going to go all the way back to your beginning. Uh-oh.
Okay.
So how did you choose music as a profession?
I think music actually chose me. I came from a very southern religious background, and both my grandparents on both sides were very religious and very active in the churches.
Right.
On my paternal side, my grandmother and grandfather both played guitar and sang, and on my maternal side, my grandfather played guitar and sang in Southern gospel. So that
Okay.
was pretty much given to me at a very early age.
Hmm.
Um, I did the sports thing for a while,
Right.
up until about the 10th grade, and it just wasn't the same. Playing baseball and whatnot. Just, nobody really clapped that much just because you made a good play. I was like,
Okay.
I play trumpet and they clap. I play guitar and they clap. I think I want to do that.
So did you pick up any other instruments in the mean? Did you like try drums and threw them away, or any? It was just straight. You went straight to guitar.
I pretty much went straight on to the guitar. Like I said, my mom impressed on me to try trumpet. I did that, and I was pretty good at it. I guess I was like first chair and all state and all that stuff. And I did some Macy parades, and did a lot of competitions and stuff. And I did well with that, but like I said, just playing trumpet and all that was cool. It takes a lot of talent to be able to do that, but
Right.
nobody claps that much for you when you're playing with 400 other people. You know?
Right.
And so I didn't feel drawn to do that. And guitar just seemed to speak to me at an early age.
What was your first guitar?
Oh, it was awful.
Oh.
It was awful. It was what nowadays is called a pawn shop guitar. It was a Tiesco Del Rey.
Okay.
They were awful. I had like 12 of those. And
Hmm.
kept trying to hot rod them up and make them better, make them better. It was bad. It was real bad.
So what was your second guitar?
Um, I think that was probably a Washburn,
Okay.
and it was like a Silvertone type copy. It wasn't very good, but it was way better than everything I'd had up to that point.
Okay.
I held on to that one for quite a while.
So I know one of your music influences. That would be Ace.
Absolutely, Mr. Frater.
Yes. So give me a
Yeah.
little bit of information about your musical influences.
Well, I got to see Kiss at a very early age. My uncle exposed me to them, and it was great. And I was completely taken over with it. Ace Frehley just had such cool stage swagger, and Nobody had seen anything like that up to that point. No,
Right.
no musicians, no groups did what they did. And I was like, I want to do that for a living. I want to do that. That's great. And so, yeah.
Who are some of your other musical influences?
Oh God. I really, really like. Um, Now I like Dream Theater, John Petrucci. Um, that stuff just moves me. It's so amazing how well that group of guys gets together and plays perfectly. And even when they're not playing perfectly, it's still perfect. That stuff just blows me away. But as far as just influencing, I've been influenced by anything that is just straight ahead rock and roll. On my father's side, they used to play a lot of Southern rock and stuff. I was in Lincoln, North Carolina, so that's very popular in that area. So anything that's considered Southern rock, I had ingrained in me. And I went through a period where I hate that stuff.
Right.
And now I've kind of come full circle back to it where I can appreciate it. Because it's cool to play that stuff and people clap for it. And they have a good time because you're playing it. And, it's not super easy to play that stuff when you've had 17 beers and 40 shots. But you do it.
Is there anyone else that you're influenced by?
I would say Mark Tremonti from Creed, Alter Ridge.
Okay.
He has pushed a lot of his tone and his phrasing on me. And I get into that. Gosh, I just listened to so much classic rock and all coming up. It was because there again, my mother tried to push country music on me so badly.
Right.
I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I'm going to go the extreme opposite of that. And I did. But now I appreciate it. I can appreciate what kind of talent it took to do that, even if the lyrics were the most stupid thing you've ever heard in your life. It still took talent to be able to put that out there. So I give them that.
So let's talk about your stage interaction, because when I met you, you just slid right into Pit Boss.
Okay.
I mean, just you slid right in, and you created your own stage presence.
Mm-hmm.
And the way your style, the way you're looking right now, looking pretty hot there.
Well, thank
Second time I've said that.
It's still hot here.
So your stage presence, the way you play, your stance, your swagger. What are you thinking when you're on stage? When you're doing, does it come naturally?
It does, because when I'm on stage, I'm a different person. I like to believe, and I get a lot of flack for this from some people. I like to believe when you're on stage, you're up there to entertain people and take them away from the indulgence of daily life. So I think you should look like you're up there for business. You're a performer. You're an entertainer. Not you just got done changing oil in your truck and just going to skip on in and do a gig.
True.
To me, that is not. You can be the best musician in the world, but if you don't take your appearance as serious, it's hard to take your talent as serious as that. And some people will say, well, some people's appearance overtakes their talent, and that's me. Well, I suck.
Right.
But I try to look like I know what I'm doing, and I want to know what I'm doing.
Right.
So yeah, definitely the appearance thing, your image, the swagger that you have. When you clock in and you're on stage, those people are up there expecting something, so you got to bring it.
Definitely.
And there's no such thing as an off night or a bad night, because that's not why you're up there.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Your wardrobe. There was one picture that I took of you several years ago. That's when you had the blonde hair.
Oh yeah.
And Billy Idol with a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And you had this skull shirt.
That's right. I did. Yeah.
And when I took the picture of you, it was kind of like the reflection of the skull from the shirt was merging with you as you were playing. Very
Mm-hmm.
cool picture. Love it.
Thank
So
you. Yeah.
you're welcome. You're welcome. What? How much time do you take in selecting your wardrobe for stage? Do you just grab something off the shelf, or do you really take the
You know,
time out?
I do typically, even now with the band that I'm playing with, is not so much um, a garment stage thing, but I still take two or three changes with me because I don't know what kind of mood I'm going to be in. I don't know what kind of vibe I'm going to get from the venue when I get there. And I also don't know how into it it's going to be, so I may have to change clothes after the first set because
True.
I don't like being the sweaty dude coming back up there and being like, yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, no, you go over there. Get there in a minute. No, I do. I'm trying to put my stuff together so that it looks right together. I've had a lot of fashion faux pas, and I'm sure if you continue down this rabbit hole, like you said, there'll be some occurrences come up where something, yeah, those other guys will go ahead and tell you like, man, some of that stuff he used to wear was like, what, what? That's all I got.
So what was the first band you played in? Oh, we're going back now. Uh
Oh
oh.
man, that was like ninth, 10th grade, something like that.
Okay.
And we were typically, guys that age and in the area that I lived in, we did a backyard birthday party. We went over a couple days before, built a little stage in the backyard,
Right.
put the equipment up, and hung a few little stupid lights and stuff. And people started pouring in that night, bringing kegs and stuff. And it got stupid. Of course, the law got called, but yeah, rock and
It
roll.
is what it is.
You know,
What was your first professional? Here we go. Professional gig.
And that means a gig I was paid for
Mm-hmm.
that I knew about ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that would have to be around 1983,
Okay.
right out of. I was still a junior in high school, and I had some friends, and their parents had a band, and the guitar player in the band cut his hand at work and couldn't make it.
Okay.
They called me and said, "Hey man, we need a guitar player," and I went to help them play and all that. It was like at a VFW. I think I made like $20. So yeah, it was bad.
20
It was real
bucks.
bad. $20, yeah, but that was in 1983, and I got like 17 or 18 cheeseburgers and 4 or 5 beers. And I thought it was great.
Hey, first band gig. Did you save it? Did you save the $20 bill, or did you spend it right away?
Actually, I think I had to give it to somebody to help me get a
Okay.
gas to get home.
Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
So what were some of the other bands you were in?
Whew, doggies. I've been in a few original bands.
Okay.
Everybody's done that thing, tried to write their own music, this, that, and the other, and that's a very hard thing to do. You can write your own music. It's very hard to write your own music and not sound like somebody else. Sooner or later, some part of that song is going to come out, and somebody's going to be like, "I already heard that." Whether you mean them to or not, you've already written something. There's only 12 bars of music, so there's only 12 notes that you can work with,
Right.
at least in Eastern music. So I have been in numerous cover bands that have also done some original stuff. I've done a lot of that. I've still got 3 or 4 CDs that I believe you can still buy. I don't even know if they're on Spotify or Pandora or anything like that yet. Because I just haven't checked into it because those guys have gone their own separate ways. And I very rarely speak to any of them.
Right.
Of course, you know this, and I'm not real crazy about it, but I was in a beach band.
I was waiting on you to say that.
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, I did the corporate band thing for 6, 7 years, something like that. It was a real good experience, and it taught me to appreciate a lot of different types of music. We did a lot of Motown. We did a lot of corporate type safe music, and it taught me how to not be the guitar guy up front because I just had to blend in. Most of the time, I just played chords that blended exactly with the snare. You've never heard me that you could tell, but if I wasn't there, you could tell something wasn't right. And come to find out, I think they just had me in the band because I was the youngest, strongest guy there, and I could drive the truck and set all the equipment up. They just let me play and put me in the back.
So how long were you were with the corporate band? You said.
Yeah, that was a band called Brass Town Hall,
Okay.
based out of Greenwood. And I come to find out that the name of the band was actually named after a place in Georgia called Brasstown Ball,
Okay.
which is a mountain. And I was with them about 6 years or so, and started getting a little tired with it and all that. And just when you got 12 people on stage, that can wear you out. It's like, man, that's a lot of personalities to deal with. And even though the stage was big, money was real good. We made great money. Wasn't crazy about wearing a tuxedo all the time.
Oh.
But I did. Yeah.
You said 12 people on stage?
At least 12, typically. Yeah.
Horn section, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. We had a horn section, 2 female singers,
Okay.
2 keyboard players, and one of them was a female singer.
Okay.
Drummer, bass player, myself. And typically we would have 2 or 3 road crew that would help out. So yeah, we did that for a while, made good money and everything, but it just wore me down because I just knew that I could play more than I was playing in that band, and I wasn't being fulfilled doing that type of thing. And money was great, like I said, but
Right.
it just it was tough. It was real tough there at the end.
So were you able to be yourself, so to speak?
Not at that band.
No. Okay.
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
No,
So-
they wanted me just to set up those big ass speakers and tote that line and pull that bell. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So what was the first band you were in where you could actually be yourself?
That was probably a band called Etc. And we were 4 members that were from Newberry, Prosperity, and Greenwood, Cross Hill, South Carolina.
Okay.
And we just came together because we just sort of knew each other kind of, and we were all at each other's different bands and stuff like that, and just meeting each other, playing out in some of the same gigs. And it was like, we all got tired of our band members at the same time. Hey man, put something together. We did. And it was a lot of fun. Those are some super talented guys. We put out 2 or 3 CDs of original music. And I'm real proud of that because that was our first stuff. And it was good. It was real good. Those guys are still doing good now. I'm in contact with 2 or 3 of them all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Then I moved on to a couple other bands in Greenwood, and we tried to break out of that Greenwood area and do all that. And we got good. We were like the best bands in the area by far.
Right.
And we recorded a lot of songs, and we've got a couple of CDs still. But you outgrow that stuff, and you got to get bigger.
Yeah, very true. Okay, here it comes. When did the pit boss? Da, da, da.
Okay.
When did
The Pit Boss. Yeah. The Pit Boss. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
How did you meet Paul Arrowwood and Clint Watts?
Okay. I had sort of known Clint for quite a while because his band used to come through and play at one of our local venues in Greenwood.
Right.
And they were great. They had a great light show, and I knew it was always a great time. I would go see them all the time.
Right.
They came through one night, and me and the singer of the band that I was in at the time, I was like, man, you got to go up here and help me, check these guys out. We went up there. Paul Arrowwood looked at me sitting out there halfway in the middle of the crowd with my buddy, and he just kept watching me. They did 2 or 3 songs, and he just kept watching me. Next thing I know, he's gonna slip up behind me with a microphone, kind of like pull me up and strip me up and hand me the microphone. He's like, here, go sing it. So I grabbed the microphone and went up to the front, and I sang the song.
That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, and then he came up there and he was like, give me the damn microphone back. I gave it back to him, went and sit down. And so we hung out and partied at the end of the night and all that. He was like, you're a damn ringer, man. I didn't know. And I was like, hey, man, I'm just enjoying the show. So at the end of the night, I said, hey, we're trying to get out of this area. We need some help. Can you hook me up with management? Who's managing you? And he did. He gave me their manager's card. We did. I contacted him.
Right.
and we followed up with them. And
Right.
shortly after that, I'd sent them a demo, and next thing I know, the manager contacted Clint and said, "Hey, man, we need you to help them with the demo, redo their demo." So that's when Clint and I got some one-on-one time in the studio, recording some stuff and whatnot.
Right.
And we just kind of seemed to be like kindred spirits. We came from the same thing, sort of knew what we wanted, and I was kind of like what he needed to finish what he was working with.
Right.
So he was kind of like, "I'm gonna just pick and pluck and pick and choose, and hey, you're coming with me." And so there I went, and that's how that came about. Just meeting those guys, and it's been up and downhill ever since.
Up and downhill.
Yeah, yeah.
So going back to wardrobe and stage presence, did you see your stage presence become full circle with Pit Boss? Or were you already there when you joined?
No, no, no. It definitely gave me the outlet to express myself more in what I chose to wore, because they were already outlandish. You see Pit Boss, you was like, okay, this is going to be something. We
Right.
don't know what. I mean, a lot of shows, a lot of lights, a lot of smoke, a lot of sound. I mean, a lot of rock and roll, and the rest of it was like, I don't know. So, so yeah, I went through a lot of different phases with them and all that, and trying to
Right.
figure out what we're doing. You know how many singers we went through, Jesus
Mm-hmm.
Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and that seemed to determine our stage attitude and our apparel too. If you
Mm-hmm.
were a little halfway through that thing when Jeff joined the group and Paul had stepped out,
Right.
you had even expressed to us at that point, is this a new beginning for Pit Boss? Are we going to see more musicianship and less bombasticness? So we didn't even know at that point where it was going to go.
So you're mentioning Jeff Davison.
Right?
Oh, he's a singing tail. Yes, he is. Oh,
Yes, he is.
yes, he
A
is.
great player. He's a great guitar player.
I don't think I've seen him play.
Yeah, yeah, he's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna have to get him in this spotlight. Uh
Oh,
oh.
absolutely,
Uh oh.
absolutely. Get his version of it.
Uh
Yeah,
oh.
because his might be a little more sober than mine,
Uh oh.
maybe.
So which as far as clubs in Augusta, which bars or clubs did you play in during your course of your career? Just this is back down memory lane.
In Augusta, wow,
Yes.
we did everything from Fort Gordon to
Mm-hmm.
1102,
Mm-hmm.
um, Country Club.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I've got one for you. Players. Remember that?
I saw it. I saw it. Yeah,
You remember
yes, I
players?
do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we did that club right outside of Fort Gordon. We used to do that a good bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Wild Wing
Mm-hmm.
played there a good bit.
Were you around when Kathmandu?
When I was in the Army, I used to go
Okay.
to Kathmandu all the time when I
Okay.
was at Fort Gordon. Oh yeah,
You're a little bit too young for whipping post.
no, I used to climb the fence to get in there. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little devil.
Well, I'm gonna plead the fifth on that because I did some fence climbing myself.
Okay.
Safari?
I knew about it, and I knew about the dynasty and all that.
Right.
That's when I was in the military, and I didn't get leave much back then because I was like a P3, E4. I
Right.
couldn't just up and leave when I wanted to. I could only leave on the weekends, some weeknights. So I didn't get to go to those places much, but I was very well aware of them, and I knew all the stories of everything that happened there. And come find out, I actually ran into a lot of those people that stuff happened to
Mm-hmm.
in separate occasions. Anyway, on to the next.
So to the next one.
Yeah.
So You know, you made me lose my train of thought. Doggone it! I remember now.
I'm sorry.
You're the first guest to do that. That's you're gonna be the only guest to do that. Doggone it! I love you. Love you.
We need another shot.
So when you're on stage
Uh-huh.
and you're playing your favorite song, what was your favorite song when you played with Pit Boss that you
Oh,
knew that you could nail it?
oh, I never nailed anything with pitballs. Only thing I nailed was paying the tab at the end of the night. No, we those guys put me through it, man. I never drank that much liquor in my life up to that point. I used to drink a lot of beer and stuff. That was no problem. But
Right.
I wouldn't drink liquor, and that was not acceptable in pitballs. It was a Jaeger. You did Jaeger, and you chased it with another cold Jaeger and Bud Light if there was some left, or Heineken. Just whatever you could get your hands on, and it hurt. It hurt for a while. It took me a couple 3 months before I finally got my Jaeger legs.
Oh wow.
So as far as best songs that I used to play, I really used to love the '80s medley that Clint came up with, because that was always a lot of fun. It's like some of the best '80s songs, even though they weren't all '80s. They're kind of like in and out, but they were related to the '80s.
Right.
So I always had a good time with that. And that was like 5 or 6 songs. I can't really say a particular one was better. Got another thing coming.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you're up on stage playing and your solo comes in, and you know this is your solo, you've gotten the cue. Do you see the audience, or are you focused on the solo, or is it a little bit of both? Do you zone out? What is your experience when it's your time to shine on stage?
Wow, this gets kind of metaphysical. When I feel that coming, and it happens in almost every song, I try to find somebody in the audience that's into what we're doing, and I try to make eye contact with them when this is happening.
Right.
And that's all I'll do is I'll look at them while I play the solo. And then when the solo's over, I sort of wait for the reaction, and then I move on.
That's a pretty good because it's basically a focal point. You use someone as a focal point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, hey, you're paying attention to us. I appreciate it. This is for you.
Now you heard that audience because we have some people in the audience that are up and coming, whether they're performers, singers, guitarists, or whatever.
Always.
Always. And you know as well as I do, there are musicians who have that in the zone. And they can do no wrong on stage. They know how to make the audience eat out of their hand. Paulera was very good at that, and so are you.
No.
Yes, you are. Yes, you
Thank
are.
you.
But
No.
you're welcome. But it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. It's not easy. Not easy at all.
Yeah, it does. It takes effort.
It takes a lot of effort. What was your first professional guitar? The real deal. You knew you wanted that. It was everything you wanted and needed.
Oh, that one. That was my 1988 PRSC 24 in electric blue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I still have it.
Really?
Yes, I do.
You still play it?
I
Is
do.
it
I do.
is it nearby? Is it nearby? Nearby you now? Uh-oh. I remember that one. Yes. Nice. Looks brand new.
Yep, that's my first one. I'll never get rid of it. It's pretty battle worn.
Hmm.
You can tell. It's pretty bad. Chewed up.
So is that the did you do any Franken work on it?
Very
Franken
little.
very little. Okay.
You see this right here. This is a cavity claw. That's
Yeah.
from a company called Carbon.
Right.
I added that. And pretty much everything else is all stock. I did add the locking tuners up here on the end. Just to help it
Oh,
stay attuned
nice.
a little bit better.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But that's pretty much it. Strap locks, because everything else is perfect. They do it right. You don't have to change anything with this now. It's all there.
So how many guitars do you own?
Um,
Oh,
Eight.
I think you went up one since the last time we talked. I think you had seven. Did you gain a new one?
Maybe. I have seven PRS and one Les Paul. The Les Paul
Oh,
I used to
oh,
play in the Gama tribute.
really?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Oh, okay. Now tell me about your love for PRS guitars. Why them? Why not Fender? Why not
Well,
Gibson?
I've been playing since, yeah, a long time. So I have had Fenders. I've had a lot of them. I even had a custom Fender. I sort of regret getting rid of. I was in a bad wreck, and part of the settlement, I used some of the money to buy a custom Fender Strat, which is basically a Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi. It was basically a copy of his guitar,
Okay.
and it was real cool. It was real great. I used it a lot, but I had that one, and I had this PRS. That guitar was only a 22 fret, so that always seemed to limit me, and it seemed to throw me off. And the strings just didn't feel the same on it. It just didn't always feel right, and it didn't seem to have the growl, the finesse, the fit, the finish. It just wasn't the same. Even though the guitars cost the same money. I've
Okay.
had a few Les Pauls. I've had a few Gibsons of some sort. I've never had one that was like the Holy Grail. I've never had one that everything was really good with. I have worked on quite a few of them that have been real good. And I've been like, man, this is the real deal. It's only been like two or three out of 50 that I maybe have fixed. Um, but the PRS stuff, I've never had a bad one, ever. I've probably had, if memory serves correctly, sort of, I probably had 50 or so since I've been playing them.
Oh,
Yeah. And I just trade them in and out here and there. Sometimes I'll buy one just because I'm just completely awestruck by the mojo that it seems to have. Then when I get it home and play it a couple times, I'm like, it's not really me. So it's got to go away.
okay.
So pretty much, for me, a PRS has got to be 24 fret. It's got to be a wide thin or a smaller neck. It's got to have a tremolo system on it, except for one PRS that I have that is very cool that doesn't have that. For me to be able to do what I do and feel comfortable about it, and even like Clint used to say, you got to have one guitar, one axe that you're going into war with, and you know that you can go up there and you go into battle with that one or that two, and you know they're going to hold up and get you through the night, get you through the battle, get you back home safely. And my PRS guitars have been able to do that with no problem, any gig whatsoever. Even through club-footed Paul Arrowwood, kicking them in the middle of my solos and stuff, or middle of my songs, he would just walk up and just be like, just like kick the crap out of them, try to hit the whammy bar while he's holding a Jaeger, you know, and they held up just fine, you know. You guys just don't know, man. If you get through a pit boss gig with one guitar and don't break a string, either through
Right.
your fault or somebody else's,
Right.
that's a guitar you need to hold on to.
So when you first get a hold of a PRS, when you own it,
Uh,
do you play it straight out of the box or do you tweak it?
I'll play it straight out of the box to start with, and then when I feel it's starting to bond with me, I will go
Right.
ahead and tweak them just a little bit, just depending on what it is. But I try to buy the models and the ones that I like that already have what I want,
Okay.
or at least ones I'm not going to invest a lot of money into to change into what I like.
So do you know someone named Sam?
Sam Rooney,
Yes. Here's
yeah,
his
I know Sam.
response.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yes, Sam. It's all about it.
Yeah,
Now does
absolutely,
does
man.
does Sam play?
Sam, yeah, I think he's a Fender guy. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's from the Augusta area. Yeah,
Oh, is he?
yeah, he is.
Okay. Is there a pit boss connection with Sam?
No,
Okay.
no,
Okay.
he
So
used
I
to come
can't.
in center stage music all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, hello, Sam. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Sam. Yeah.
So you just played them straight out of the box. So what about maintenance? Is there a lot?
Oh,
Do you have to?
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty hard on as far as that goes. I've got a I don't know if you see it or not. Got a little workbench area right there, and I
Okay.
always that's where I do all my work on all my guitars and everybody else's too that I happen to run into sooner or later.
Right.
Yeah, I use Elixir strings. I won't use anything else. I actually am an endorser for them. They just sent me a brand new set of strings, and I'm having to go through and play them. And they're on this
Okay.
guitar, and I'm having to keep up with how many hours I play them and what kind they are, and what do I think about them. And then I got to do surveys and whatnot. At the end of it, if I like them, whatever, or if they like what I've done with them, then, they'll send me some more.
So how long have you had that endorsement?
Um, Probably 12 years or so.
Okay. Now, is it really again, we have members in the audience that are learning. Is
Okay.
it is it is it very difficult to get endorsement? Without telling your story, is it just in general?
Um, Typically, what the folks are looking for in endorsement procedures are the amount of people, the amount of times you're playing, and the amount of people you're playing in front of.
Okay.
If those two things are substantial and meet their minimum requirements, you can get an endorsement.
12 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad at all.
It's okay. It's okay. You know, it's every company's got different endorsements. Like, I only play Mesa amps. I've got one Black Star amp that I play as a small combo thing for backline gigs, but I don't use it much. But even with Mesa, they're a great company and all that. If you're an endorser for them, all that really means is you buy stuff at cost.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't. John Petrucci is the only one that's gotten a guitar amp for free. He's the
Wow.
first signature amp they've ever got.
So, do you have other amps that you prefer other than Mesa?
You know, probably not. I played through a couple. I
Okay.
maybe down the road if I could afford it and could justify it. I would love to have an Eagle, maybe a Fireball or something like that because they've got a great. Um, their saturation is great. You can actually use the guitar and the amp together. They play against each other. I can do the same thing with the Mesa stuff. I love that, and that's what I love about it. The dual rate that I use is a 3-channel amp. Plus, it has a solo channel built in. And I can get any genre I want out of that, which is very cool for me. I'm still old school. I
Okay.
don't like the digital stuff.
Still.
I don't like the
Right.
AX stuff and the fractal and all that because I believe in pushing air, not ones and zeros.
That's a good analogy.
Thank
I like that. Yeah.
you. Yeah.
So, are you performing? What are you doing today? Which band are
Um,
you in now?
I'm in a band called Audio Vault. And we're basically a 90s tribute band, but
Okay.
we have started expanding our song base and whatnot and seeing that some of the 80s stuff is still cool and people respond to it, and some of the brand new stuff is still cool. So that's kind of what we're doing now. It's a great group of guys, man. This is one of the best groups I've ever played with. There's no drama. Everybody's got their act together. Everybody sings. Everybody's equipment's good. Everybody gets to the shows on time. Just look out for each other. Um, they're sensitive to each other's needs and just great guys. It's unbelievable that I found these folks and they actually put up with me.
So, Audio Vault, are they? Do you have the website? Are you on Facebook?
They are on Facebook. It's audiovaultband.com. Um, and that's you got to put the band on there because if you don't, you pull up some as Jackie, my lead singer, likes to say, you might pull up some imposters and That's not us. Yeah.
So did I get it right?
You got it right. Look at you.
Oh, look at me.
Look at you. No spell check or anything.
So, audience, if you want to find Clay and his band Audio Vault, there it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you play in Augusta or Atlanta area?
No, we don't know. We would love to be able to venture out into the Augusta area and all that, but we mostly play in the Atlanta market. We stay so busy there that it's really hard to venture out of that circuit. We don't have a lot of open dates to go anywhere else, even though if we had a lucrative offer, we would go ahead and make time for that. We would go. We'll do a road trip. No big thing.
So, is there anything else you'd like to add about Audio Vault?
Well, like I said, they're just like some of the greatest guys ever, man. There's one side note is John, the bass player, Jackie, the lead singer, and Joe, the bass player, the drummer, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So all their names begin with J. So I have to tell people my name begins with J. It's just silent. Yeah, that's lame. That's lame.
So, what is it? What is in store for Clay, musically, future wise? Do you have any plans that you'd like to share with the audience?
I really, really don't. I'm investing all my time right now in my relationship, my job, taking care of my children still.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gigging as I can. We're adding new songs, and I like keep searching out new equipment, maybe to make me sound a little better, maybe help me cover up mistakes. And that's really it.
That's enough. That's a lot.
It is. My plate's full.
It is. Is there anything else you wanna add?
No,
Floor is yours.
I really appreciate you contacting me about all this, keeping me in line, because this could have went way awry.
Crack that
Oh,
whip.
yes. I'm gonna tell you right now, we've been through some stuff. We've seen some stuff.
Man.
You reeled me in when I needed it. You got a sounding board when some things have been real bad in my life earlier, and I really appreciate you being there for that.
You know what? We have been friends now heading in about at least 18, 20 years.
That sounds right.
And it's about right. Yeah, you've helped me out a lot too.
Really?
You've been mm-hmm. You have.
Okay.
I had some issues that I didn't want, I didn't really discuss, back then, but just having a friend that would listen. And you were there, when we used to drink our adult beverages and all that good stuff, back in the day.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. And so, when I get back to Atlanta, I'm still expecting that adult beverage. It could be orange juice.
You said
Orange juice.
You said adult beverage.
Ah. Okay, well, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. Yeah. Okay, a bottle of wine.
I'm scared of the bottle.
What?
Yeah, I don't drink wine.
That's right. Well, we could probably split a 6-pack or something.
Yeah, whatever. I'm good with a shot of this and that and the other. And
gosh.
Yeah. Hey, man, good time.
Well, you want to go back to the rattlesnake days. That's what you want. Remember, I used to hit those rattlesnakes.
Cool.
Man,
that was pretty cool.
Slam them down on the bar.
Surrey Tavern.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go.
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh, that's blast from the past.
Yep, sure was.
Yep, Surrey Tavern. Go ahead.
That reminds me. I actually, when I was in that corporate band, we opened up for a pretty big band called Starship, right around the corner at Chevy's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes, we did.
Is that your cousin?
Mr. Thomas. Yes, it is. Mr.
Yes, it
Mickey
is.
Thomas. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
He's got a hell of a voice.
yeah. He's still doing his thing.
Wow.
He's still out there doing it, man. It's impressive. Super impressive.
Oh
You
man.
know.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It is. You
It
know,
was.
it has been so long, Clay, since I've seen you. It's just like, I'm trying to keep it together during this interview
Yeah.
because we've been such good friends all these years and we've hung out together and just talked trash. And I haven't seen you in so long. I'm just
You know,
trying to keep it together.
I'm
What's
just now
that?
noticing your Jack and Sally back there. I didn't know you were a fan.
A little bit.
Really?
A little bit.
Oh,
No. Oh,
I
no.
get it in there.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So, how many tattoos do you have now?
I only have three.
Okay. I have five.
Yeah, those things are expensive.
They're very expensive.
Very expensive.
It's time for number six. I don't know exactly where yet, but it's time for number six.
Yeah, it is. Have things opened up out there in California for you, so you can go get a tattoo?
Well, I had an exclusive guy that I used to go to, but he lives up in Humboldt County. That's farther up north. It's about 5 hours from Sacramento, and it's in the mountains. So I don't know anyone here. They have a lot of tattoo shops, but I just haven't ventured out.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's time.
it's past time. Because the last tattoo I got was, oh my goodness, it might have been the infinity sign. That was the last one I got. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's time for something else.
It is definitely time for something else. So you got anything else you want to add? Or do you want to come back later and talk about it? Or you just want to shoot the shit or what?
Well, we did not talk about the last original band that I was in. I wasn't in it very long,
Right.
um, but it was a heavy metal band called Long Claw. The all original it was kind of like, if you ever heard the band Clutch,
Yes, I
or
have.
or more modern day Black Sabbath. So we were like that. A lot
Right.
of riff driven music, um, and I just got hooked up with them. And it was just, I was kind of like in an interim period. I've been playing with another cover band
Mm-hmm.
that I wasn't real happy with. They didn't seem to have their act together, and they still don't.
Okay.
And I was looking for something else, and this opportunity came up. People approached me about it. And my girlfriend, she's like, "You need to do that. That's cool. That's very cool." I was like, "But it's just original. It won't pay anything. I'll make zero money." She's like, "But it's cool." So I did it.
Right.
Went in. We did the first album. I went in and learned all the first album and everything. We wrote a new song too at the same time.
Right.
Um, we went and the lead singer had quite a few issues. He had some medical issues and whatnot. And
Mm.
I wasn't really aware of that. I just thought this is how he was. Um, so we went and we did a show at a big venue here in Jonesboro, Georgia, and it was there were like 7, 8 other bands opened up for us and stuff, and then a couple other bands played after we did. And come to find out, that was basically our last show because he died a couple of weeks right after that.
Oh.
Um, and it was real sad because we had gotten real tight. I mean, we were good. I mean, it was really good. It was really different. I mean, it was, I didn't have to worry about singing and anything like that. I did some small backup stuff here and there. I just had to get up there and play. And I shared lead work with another guy, and we both just got up there and just played our hearts out. And we played really loud. I mean, we were loud. Some bands say they're loud.
Right.
No, we were freaking loud. I mean, we were the type of loud that if you walked in front of us and you wanted to be sterile, you were
Yeah.
sterile. You were having no more babies. You're done. Because it would just pummel you. But yeah, we ended up doing that show, and then shortly after that, he started trying to detox off one medication to go to another and all that, and his body just wouldn't accept it, and he
Mm,
died.
I'm sorry to
And
hear
that was the
that.
end of that band. And it's real sad. We were signed to Pavement Records. We had
Oh,
an endorsement from DR Strings,
oh wow.
and yeah, it was the real deal. And it was just it probably could have been something, but like I said, it was his time, so we had to let it go.
So, what is the Atlanta scene like these days in rock music?
And it is a mess. It's a mess. I mean, if you want to hear it,
I
you can
want to
find
hear it.
someplace to hear it. You can go someplace to find it. If you're looking for something along the veins of what maybe like we used to do back at Augusta and all that,
Right.
you got to stretch out in some of the bigger areas and whatnot that have larger venues, and you'll be able to get that type of entertainment. Um, Mostly, if you go to Midtown or anything like that, you're going to see 3 or 4 or 5 bands on one bill playing for like 30 minutes at a time, and you just don't know what you're going to get. So you got to be patient, wait it out, and just be a fan of music. Um, it's really hard, and obviously with this pandemic that we've dealt with, we don't know what we're going to come into anymore. We do know that with Audio Vault we haven't lost but one gig or so far, and all of our other gigs are still confirmed and ready to go. They're just waiting for us to come back.
So, how would you deal with that once once the gig comes up? Do they have, I guess, structure in place for when you all play? Because you know how that is. People,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, they do, but hopefully, it seems like the governor of Georgia's got a lot of sense, and he's like, let these adults make their own decisions. They've been running business forever. They're adults. We don't need to coddle them. They know what's best for their situation. Let
right.
them handle it. It's their liability if it happens to go awry. So that's what we're looking at. A lot of places we play are like Wild Wing type venues and stuff, or some are private parties. So we're pretty up close and whatnot with our audience anyway, and it's great. It's what we like.
So with the Wild Wing circuit, which I remember very well, the
Mhm.
stage is it's raised,
Uh,
right?
and some and some of them, we play a couple that doesn't really have a stage area
Okay.
that's tucked away. But yes, most of them are raised up a good bit and whatnot. So you don't have the opportunity for the general public just to like come up there and meander in your area. Some of them, yeah.
So no chicken wire or anything like that.
No, no, no,
I played like I was saying in a previous interview. I have played a venue with chicken wire. Yeah.
was that wasn't in Greenwood or Happyville, was it? Cotton Gin?
It was no. It was on the opposite side of South Carolina. It was like 5 miles deep into the woods. You turn off the gravel road
Oh yeah,
and you just drive.
yeah. You take a left down by the stump, you see the man sitting there. Yeah, good times.
Oh my goodness. Did you have anything else you want to add, Clay, before I let you go?
I just really appreciate you contacting me about this, and I hope the series goes well for you. I hope you able to do
Well,
a lot with it and get some good, interesting stories out of everybody, and just stay in contact.
you know what? I have gotten a lot of overwhelming response so far. Of course, my first show was really, really good, and the numbers have been steadily climbing. Can't wait to see what your episode looks like.
Mm, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see. Yes, but I think this is a good thing. I know so many people, and the
you do.
first thing I thought when this came about, I'm like, got to get my brothers in pit balls. Oh. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah, like you said,
dun.
gotta keep it PG. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Clay Thomas. You got any final words?
um, Lord bless everybody. Keep you safe from harm.
Very good words. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Clay Thomas. He'll be back. I have him on here for some reason, top 10 or something. You're coming back. You have no choice. You're coming back.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. See you, D.
Hang on, hang tight, hang tight. I'm going to end the broadcast. Once again, this is the radio takeover with D Rivers. This is Clay Thomas, episode number 3. We'll see you tomorrow with Lynn Webster's top 10 list of music.
Mm.
Take care,
Bye.
audience. Bye.